Deadpool and Wolverine has managed to break some records, so let's highlight everything that's happened ever since the film's release and where it's projecting to be, well, wrapping up its box office whenever that happens. Okay, so first and foremost, Deadpool and Wolverine has become the highest rated R-rated film of all time domestically in the United States. This means that in the United States, when you look at R-rated films, it has the biggest box office. The reason I'm trying to explain this is because I've seen a lot of people on articles and posts stating this, saying Joker made more money. It did, but that's the worldwide box office. We're talking about the United States, where this film is the biggest domestically in the United States, officially passing Passion of the Christ. Now, on top of this, it also has the sixth biggest domestic opening of all time. Again, domestic is United States, just so people are clear on this. I know for domestic, if you live in Canada, to you, that's domestic, right? But I'm based in the United States, so typically when the world talks about domestic, it's United States. Localized would be your area, but again, there are some barriers there in terms of translation and whatever. So again, take it for what it's worth. This is just the United States. It's also sitting as the highest rated R-rated opening of all time. So yeah, it's going to definitely keep that for a while unless Joker 2 comes out swinging. That seems to be the only film that people think might take it down. I've seen people bring Venom: The Last Dance into the conversation, but that typically gets shrugged off the moment it's mentioned. Now, there is a chance, but again, who knows? And it's also the highest grossing Deadpool film of all time. That's impressive considering it hit this mark in about 9 days. So it's got a long shelf life, I would say. Which brings us to the final prediction that people have now. And as the film is past 850 million as of now, analysts are stating that this film will shoot north of $1 billion. And I've seen some reports and analysts I've talked to say it's going to hit about 1.75 billion, possibly a little lower. Now, I found that number interesting because the moment that they stated this number and I saw it in two places, I said, hold up. And I realized that it's literally being placed to come in under Joker, which made 1.074. So I think a lot of people are expecting that this film is going to have drop-offs and land right around Joker or possibly right next to it. Now, I've seen some analysts say 1.1 to 1.15, which I think is more likely if you just plug in the numbers, right? If you just look at the drops, even if you were to take a third weekend drop and a fourth weekend drop, that pushes on the upper limits of a potential drop, it's still going to hit Joker numbers inevitably by the look of it. So it'll be interesting to see just what happens with these numbers and how people look at them and, what happens next. But I'm definitely hyped for, seeing where this film lands and what happens next and just how does Disney react to this on the investors' call. I'm pretty much expecting Bob Iger to come out on stage after the investors' call on D23, hold up two middle fingers and say, I told you it was going to be rated R, you morons, and then just walk off by, splashing a $1 billion mark, and that's about it. Okay, that's obviously not going to happen, but hey, maybe they'll have Deadpool do it. That could be very appropriate.